Hey everyone, Jim Chester coming to you live once again from New Beginnings Chiropractic Weekend out here in New Jersey. I have Dr. Jay Handt with me right now, and this guy is a powerhouse for the New Beginnings movement. I'm going to let him explain a little bit about his experience with this group and what it means to be a part of this New Beginnings family. Dr. Jay, thank you so much for being on with me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Handt, and I've been part of New Beginnings for the last 25 years. I actually started with it doing a firewalk with Dr. Chuck Ribley when it first started, and as we progressed, I've done a dozen firewalks for New Beginnings. I've been part of their board for the 25 years. It's probably one of the most powerful philosophical programs in chiropractic because it revolves around family, about love for the same things. And, you know, the reason I stay involved is because I want to perpetuate and protect the chiropractic profession, keep it principled, keep it growing, and, you know, it's my passion in life.
So tell me a little bit about why you got involved in the first place.
I got involved because I've always been a philosophically based chiropractor, and there was really nothing that was going on in the Northeast. And when Jim Dubell invited me to come and speak and be part of it with Dr. Chuck Ribley, I took advantage of it, and after the first meeting, I fell in love with it, and by the second meeting, I was already on the New Beginnings board. So, you know, when you find something that's working and that's going to, you know, really fulfill you, and it also fulfills my desire for being in a philosophical environment, I just couldn't leave.
That's pretty amazing, you know, and I've had a chance to get to know many of these New Beginnings, you know, leaders, and it's my first New Beginnings, and so it's been a real honor for me to be able to come here and offer the service to the group and to, you know, shine a spotlight on this group and let this event live outside the four walls. Mm-hmm. So let's switch gears a little bit, and let's talk what you're going to be presenting tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow we're going to be doing a thing called speed coaching. Years ago, my wife and I had this great idea. It's when speed dating first came in, where you could, you know, very quickly get little snippets about people and decide whether you liked them or not. And we've thought that if we could bring that into the chiropractic profession, most people, rather than having to sit for days or weeks with coaches, if they could just get their most important question answered really quick, it forces them to be really focused. They ask a question, the coach has 2 minutes to answer it, and they move on. So it became one of the most exciting events at New Beginnings because everybody wants to get their questions answered. And it's for people like myself that have been in practice, ongoing practice for 40 years. I still practice on Central Park West. You know, my son's in practice with me. So when I'm coaching from real-time experience, not I used to be in practice 30 years ago.
So now that you've said that, let's share a few tips with our audience out there that might need some help with your services and what kind of things you do with your coaching for them quickly.
Well, the things we do, it really depends on the question you ask. Sometimes it'll be questions about finances. Sometimes it'll be questions about how much time to spend, about technique, about how to deal with the front desk, how to get into instant rapport with a patient so they feel that you're just like them. So we try and create magic moments, as Eric Plask would say, in patients' lives and how to get them excited. So teaching the young chiropractors that there's more than just moving a bone. It's your intention behind it. It's building relationships. And the most powerful thing is building your communication skills so that you can tell the chiropractic story so they do get what you're talking about and they become lifetime patients.
So let's just take the idea that there's so many young docs here and that are starving to become successful. How can we, as a group, fulfill that and help these young docs become successful?
I think one of the most powerful things in helping young docs become successful is being willing to be a mentor. You know, when I grew up in chiropractic in the late 70s and early 80s, there wasn't a whole lot of coaches out there. There wasn't a whole lot of management people out there. So what we did is we hooked up with somebody that was already in practice doing what we wanted to do and asked if we could just call them on a regular basis and get advice. And so with the young doctors here, we love mentoring them. You know, there's no charge to be mentored. You know, even like when I speak at Life University, it's the same thing. We set up mentoring programs. So it's about getting students to understand that they don't have to pay to learn. They've already paid enough through chiropractic school, but there are doctors out there, a lot of docs, that are willing to share their wisdom, share their knowledge, and that they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
So I know we covered a few topics of New Beginnings. We talked a little bit about what you're doing with your coaching programs. Now let's tell the people when this program is happening again next and why they should come here.
Okay, well, first, I don't have a coaching program, but the speed coaching is something that we do in New Beginnings. And it's like usually it's like 3 or 4 couples who have been in practice for a while. And so what will happen is that a couple will sit at a table, and there will be 4 seats in front of them, 4 or 6 seats, and those are filled by the young docs. Each doc gets a turn to ask one question, and the coaches have to answer those questions as quickly as possible.
Gotcha.
So it gets right to the point. It keeps the coaches, from thinking too much, and it definitely keeps the participants from getting lost in a lot of the gobbledygook that's sort of out there.
Awesome. So when's the next New Beginnings happening?
The next New Beginnings is going to be in March. It's going to be a St. Patty's Day party, and if things work right, we're going to be doing a firewalk experience on Friday night before the St. Patty's Day party on Saturday.
So there you have it from Dr. Jay Handt. He is an integral part of this New Beginnings group out here in New Jersey and the north up here. And what they are doing is offering a platform for highly motivated speakers to join and to share their message from the stage. And what do you guys do CEs here as well?
Yeah, I think in March we're going to be doing 10 CE credits. So you can get that as it's a bonus. I mean, there aren't too many places that you can get CE credits that are philosophically based, principle based, and yet get excited about it.
So there you have it. You guys can come out, get your CEs. You guys have the opportunity to hear from some amazing speakers. Who's coming up here? Do you know who's on the schedule yet?
Not sure who's going to be new. One of the things with Dr. DeBell, it's always a surprise. So we're looking forward to who he's going to put up and what's going to go on.
Well, I'm really excited to see Liam Schubel. He's coming up here soon today. And then Freddie Schofield. He's one of the reasons I got into chiropractic. So Fred is a huge integral part of the first person that ever taught me what ADIO meant.
And Freddie's fantastic. I love him. His rhino about taking charge. I met Freddie, same thing, probably in the early 80s down at DE when he was talking about it and his coaching and his rugby mentality. I loved it. It's great.
Well, I'm going to give Dr. J a big hug and say thank you for inviting me into the New Beginnings family. And I'm going to be going live until the Halloween party tonight, so stay with me for the remainder of the day, and I'm going to be interviewing more dynamic New Beginnings family members and talking more about chiropractic and what they're doing here and why you should be here. So thank you for being with me. Love and appreciate every single one of you, and stay with me for the rest of the day. We'll see you.
Bye now. Thank you.